Implementation of European directives on critical infrastructure protection. This part of the course provides an overview of various directives related to the protection of critical infrastructure in the European Union. It discusses Directive 2008/114 EC, Directive 2016/148 UINIs, Directive 2981 AC, Directive 2011/98 and Directive 2004/35 EC. Focusing on their requirements and implementation framework, the directives establish measures to protect critical infrastructure against various risks, including terrorist attacks, and ensure a high common level of security across the EU. Directive 28/114 EC. The first directive that we will discuss is Directive 2008/114 EC on the identification and designation of European critical infrastructures and the assessment of the need to improve their protection. This directive lays down the groundwork for the identification and designation of critical infrastructures in various sectors, such as energy, transportation, and information technology. It also requires member states to assess the need to improve the protection of these critical infrastructures and establish necessary measures. Directive 2016/1148 EU NIS Directive. The NIS Directive, also known as Directive on Security of Network and Information Systems, focuses on enhancing the security and resilience of network and information systems. It lays down requirements for operators of essential services and digital service providers, such as security and incident notification obligations, risk management, and cooperation with national authorities. It aims to ensure a high common level of security across the EU. Directive 2981/81. This directive relates to the defense sector and governs the procurement procedures for defense and sensitive security related contracts. It provides a framework for ensuring the security of critical infrastructure that is related to defense and security. Directive 2011/98 EQ. This directive focuses on the protection of European critical infrastructures against terrorist attacks. It establishes minimum requirements for the protection of such infrastructures and promotes cooperation between member states to enhance their security. Directive 2004/35 EC. The Environmental Liability Directive aims to prevent and remedy environmental damage, including damage to critical infrastructure. It establishes a legal framework for the prevention and remediation of environmental damage, with a focus on restoration of affected natural resources. Critical Entities Resilience Directive, also known as the CR Directive, is a groundbreaking legislative framework established by the European Union, which aims to bolster the resilience of critical entities across its member states. Its primary goal is to ensure the uninterrupted provision of essential services that are vital for maintaining societal functions and economic activities. The inception of the CR Directive marks a pivotal evolution from the European Critical Infrastructure Directive of 2008. It's a response to the increasingly complex challenges we face today, including the rise of digital threats, the impacts of climate change, and geopolitical tensions. Recent events such as the sabotage of the Nord Stream pipeline highlight the urgent need for this directive. The CR Directive not only emphasizes the importance of preparedness and response, but also fosters international cooperation to protect and strengthen critical infrastructure against a myriad of threats. Unlike previous sector-specific regulations, the CR Directive introduces a comprehensive approach. It encompasses all hazards, whether they stem from natural disasters, man-made events, accidents, or deliberate actions. This ensures a robust framework for the resilience of entities crucial for the internal market's proper functioning. A cornerstone of this directive is the requirement for critical entities to carry out comprehensive risk assessments. These assessments are vital in identifying potential threats that could disrupt essential services, tailored to each entity's specific circumstances and the dynamic risk landscape. On July 25, 2023, a significant milestone was achieved with the establishment of a non-exhaustive list of essential services. This list spans a range of sectors, from energy and transport to healthcare and digital infrastructure, delineating the services deemed critical for the EU's resilience. For more information, please visit Critical Entities. Resilience. Directive: a critical timeline has been set for member states. By October 17, 2024, they must transpose the ERA directive's requirements into national law. With the directive becoming fully effective the following day, this marks a significant step towards a unified and resilient Europe. Looking ahead, each member state is tasked with developing a strategy by January 17, 2026, to enhance the resilience of critical entities. The European Commission will then assess each state's compliance by July 17, 2027. Through the ACR directive, the EU aspires to a harmonized and fortified approach, ensuring the security and resilience of its critical entities, and by extension the well-being of its internal market and citizens. Implementation of the directives. The implementation of these directives requires close cooperation between the European Commission member states and relevant stakeholders. Member states are responsible for the transposition of the directives into their national legislation and the establishment of competent authorities to oversee the implementation. Implementation challenges. The implementation of European directives related to critical infrastructure protection faces several challenges. These include the varying levels of maturity and capacity among member states, the absence of a harmonized approach, and the coordination between different sectors and authorities involved in critical infrastructure protection. European initiatives for strengthening critical infrastructure resilience. In addition to the directives, several European initiatives have been launched to strengthen the resilience of critical infrastructure. These initiatives aim to enhance coordination, information sharing, and best practices among member states. In conclusion, the implementation of European directives related to critical infrastructure protection is crucial for ensuring the safety and security of essential services and the overall well-being of European citizens. Based on the transposition of these directives into national legislation and on the establishment of robust measures, member states can effectively safeguard critical infrastructure against various threats. Continued cooperation and coordination between member states and relevant stakeholders are essential to address implementation challenges and further strengthen critical infrastructure resilience.